Okay, welcome to Learn Golf with Cassie. This is Coach Dad. Cassie is in England at the moment, so she'll be back in a few weeks' time for the Christmas vacation. So for the next few weeks, it's Learn Golf without Cassie. Today, I'm going to be looking back at my game and the Dan Grieves pitching process. I've been now working on this for nearly 2 years, and I've had lots of success. If you don't know Dan Grieves, go and check out his YouTube channels. One of the things recently, I've kind of not played very much, not done much practice, so I've kind of lost a few of the techniques. So I'm going to try and work through those today to see if I can rebuild my confidence. It's not necessarily a difficult shot. The release one, there's 3 releases: release 1, release 2, and release 3. I'll be looking at 1 and 2 because they're the ones I do most. And in the winter time, most of the time I'm playing a number 1. I've been okay on number 1. I've made some chipping mistakes and checked those out. Put a few up there to see recently, and it annoys me. And it's something that I should be able to do much more consistently. The good is still really good, and then a couple of brain farts. So I'm just going to be working on a couple of things today. Let's get into it. So the first thing is I'm going to go with I'm going to do release 2 first, and just a short swing, playing maybe a 20-yard shot. I've got to remember that left foot is splayed out. I've got to keep myself over that left foot because that's my pivot line. Okay, I'm going to have a nice longish backswing. I've got to make sure that the elbows and the arms stay with my chest as I go back, and when I get to here, the club and gravity do the job of dropping the club, and I just carry on around. And the finish on a release 2 is, finish from 1 is belt buckle, finish on 2 is left hip. Okay, so this is going to be first time I've practiced this in a few months, and again I've had a few very iffy ones, so weight on there. And the hands, ball position is kind of more to the front. The hands are not in front, they're kind of in the middle, but you don't need to open up the face. I'm playing this with a 56. Very, very soft hands. And that's the one I've been getting. I've been coming up a little early, not letting the club drop. It looks okay, but it's going to go, I'm aiming for that flag. It went 8 yards long. I had a bit of spin, but I'm not letting the club, and I'm not turning through enough to make sure the club stays in the shot that longer. So I'm going to try again. So feeling like that hip's turning. Facing up there, the toe. Dropping, turning. Okay. Should be a little bit more height. Okay, that was a little bit better. Exactly the right distance. It's not quite feeling like I'm brushing the grass enough. I want the bounce to brush through the grass. That felt a little bit on the heavy side. And when you're in a wet lie in the winter, you've got to have a really good lie for this in the winter. But if it's a bit wet and soggy, that can really kill you. It just comes out nowhere. I feel like I'm driving with my hands. Let's let it drop. There we go. That's tons of spin as well. Stopped within a foot. That was it. I could feel the club. For me, and you can try this at home, you've got to feel that club getting underneath the ball without you trying to manipulate it. That club has to do it by itself, almost like you feel like the club is reversing the handle. So if you're getting the handle a little bit too far and trying to fix it, you're dead. I'll show you what that looks like. If the handle drives a little bit before you're going to come out low. So this is the handle driving. I mean, it's not a terrible shot, but I've got about a 20-foot putt now. So that's what I'm looking for. That is coming off the club nice and soft, and it's landing. You can feel the spin as the ball leaves when the club brushes through underneath, rather than you trying to manipulate it. And I feel like I've got to really, really be so gentle. I feel like I'm hardly moving, and I've got no grip on the club at all to get that result. I can see it spinning. When it works, it feels great. Weight on the left. Not too bad. I kind of work the hands underneath, and if you try and work the hands a little bit too much, the ball will ride up the face and come off the top with even less speed, and then you don't necessarily get the distance you want. Last two. See if I can get these close. That was perfect. Landed right next to the flag and stopped within 5 feet. Beautiful. Right next to, that's a birdie every time. Okay, we're going to do a couple from face on. Okay, I'm coming off the mat here so you can see. So face on, I'm hitting a 20-yard shot. This is a feel one. This is not the A1, A2, A3. This is a feel one. Hands in the middle, really, really gentle grip. Feeling I'm turning, this is staying together with chest. The chest is following the hip, dropping by itself, and then I'm turning with it. Okay? So this hopefully perfect. Right next to the flag, spin, soft flight. Okay. What I was talking about earlier is if your hands are driving and this club doesn't reverse. This is the reversing of the handle, and that's the releasing. If you don't release, it comes out a lot hotter. Try and do that. I'll try and do the same swing. That's a nice shot for 50 yards. It's not doing me any good for 25 though. But with the shorter sort of feel shot, as this comes down, it's got to be reversing. You can see the red reversing there. Rim. Yeah, it's reversing. A bit way to the left. Just landing and zipping and coming off that little bit slower. That one felt not quite perfect, but doesn't. With this shot from the Dan Grieves Release 2, because you're using the bounce interacting with the grass and you're not digging, even one that feels like it's a little bit early bounces through and you get pretty much the same shot. On a mat like this, very hard, it's kind of like going off a very tight lie. It's quite good practice, but sometimes it bounces, kicks because of the hardness of the mat. I can feel it when I drive the hands a little bit, it comes out a lot lower. And here's the video shot we did from the last video where that same shot comes out lower and goes 25 yards too long, and then puts us in a place where we've got to make a really difficult shot. But if we can continue letting the club drop, keeping the chest going round with the swing, I leave myself a 2-foot shot. Okay, so that's the number 2, release 2. Okay, I hope that was interesting to see how a more experienced coach works on their game to try and fix things that they've noticed. We don't all get the chance to go and work with Dan Grieve in person. Some of us are 14,000 miles away, so we have to try and work on these things by ourselves. And having that video there to watch is useful as long as you know what you're looking for. Hope that helps. Have a great evening. Remember to hit the bell, give us a like. If you want to write a comment, we're very happy to reply, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.